People always ask me, what was your motivation in developing a style? And I'll tell them I had no motivation. I never intended to develop a style. My motivation was to fill a void in the martial arts community. And let me explain what I mean. Back in the 70s, 73, 74, 75, if you wanted to learn Nunchaku, there was hardly no training material. You either had to know someone or you just didn't learn. At that time, I knew one guy named Rick Finkelstein from Virginia Beach who did traditional Nunchaku. But that style seemed convoluted to me. It was hard to do. You did side spins and wrist rolls, and it didn't seem practical, especially for self-defense. So, in my desire to learn Nunchaku and go to tournaments, I developed my own set of techniques. And after winning 3 state championships and some 15 or 16 other events using these techniques, I got with my brother in 1990 and said, hey, let's put a tape together showing our basic and advanced Nunchaku techniques. Because I'm sure there's guys out there that want plan B. They don't like the traditional style. They can't do the traditional style. They want something else they can learn with the Nunchaku. So my techniques were easy to learn. They were fast and flashy, and I'd won a bunch of tournaments with them. So I knew that if we could get this tape done and get it out to the martial arts community, it would fill that void. You know, the guy in Kansas who wanted to learn how to do Nunchaku, but didn't have an opportunity, didn't have the tape to learn from, didn't have anybody to teach him. So when we did our first tape, Chucka's video, with basic and advanced Nunchaku techniques, we sent it up to the Asian World of Martial Arts. They ordered 5 copies. After that, it started selling like hotcakes. And that was the void. We filled that void. The guy that now had got his nunchucks back out of the closet, he could now learn something. He had an instructor to teach him something. And this was easier to learn and more practical. And if he did, and when I say forms, what happened after that is a guy named Brian Lee, Grandmaster of Karate from New York, called me and said, hey, you've got something here, but you need to do more tapes. Add footwork. So now the student can go to their local tournament and do a kata and try to compete. And we did that. I did Chucka's Volume 2, Chucka's Volume 3 at the same time. Taught 3 single Nunchaku forms on Volume 2 and a double Nunchaku form on Volume 3. And again, they sold like hotcakes. Over the years, we were selling thousands and thousands of VHS tapes. And that was the beginning of a style, of the American style Nunchaku, which I never, in my wildest dreams, set out to establish. Because from there, people were calling me and coming into town and taking lessons and wanting more. So as more things came to me, as more techniques developed, I put them on tape. Did another tape. I did tape 4. Then I did tape 5. And then I did volume 6. And again, people were buying them. They were winning tournaments. They had the void filled. They had all the Nunchaku action that they could stand available to them. Today, we've got over 25 forms in the style. I encourage brown belts to make up their own forms. It's pretty much a wide open style where you take the best techniques of the style, you take the footwork that you can do the best, and then you can establish your own form and go out Saturday morning and do it in your local tournament. So that's it in a nutshell. I filled the void, and I say that on my Volume 1 DVD today, that back in the 70s, with limited training material, there wasn't much instruction on Nunchaku. And I say this is my gift to the martial arts community, this 47-minute DVD that will teach you, if you have the desire and the urge to learn Nunchaku, now you've got something that you can learn from. You've got step-by-step instruction. And after you do your Volume 1, if you don't like it, you can quit, or you can go to Volume 2 and Volume 3 and continue up the ranks. And so we've instigated a federation for grading. You can go from yellow belt, the green belt, the purple belt, the brown belt, and we'll grade you. And when you get to brown belt, you can start teaching other students. So that's how it happened. And then with the internet, putting my DVDs on the internet, now we've got Indonesia, Vietnam, UK, Mexico, all kinds of countries now jumping into it because it's free instruction, it's easier to learn instruction, and it's Plan B. You now have an option of Nunchaku. You can try the traditional style, or you can try the American style. And this has opened up far, far beyond whatever I had ever imagined when we spent $1,800 in 1990 to do the Chucka's video. Never thought it would go this far in my wildest imagination. I would like to thank all the students for their support, and I'm glad you're happy with the instruction. This is Grandmaster Michael Burke, signing off. Goodbye.